No, I don't believe in luck. I believe in gratitude and fortune and all that kind of good stuff. So we went away last weekend to an undisclosed location. I just like saying that word. It makes me feel so spy-oriented, you know, to an undisclosed location, actually to the Waimea cottages. But yeah, I did some deep diving. The good news is the last time I was here, I said, what if this was my last talk? And it wasn't, obviously, because I'm here today. But I found 5 R's that went on while I was gone, and they are these. I rested. Rita really rested. I reflected. And I did a reset. And I reawakened. And I revived myself. All in 3.5 days. It's nice to say, and then you leave. And the reason I know I rested is because on our way home, we went to that other temple called Costco. And we went in there, and I don't smoke pot anymore, just for anyone's information, not that you asked, but I felt like if I had smoked it before I went into Costco, because I was so relaxed, and everybody was having theirs, and I was just like, wow, look at them. They're just running all around, man. I went, wow, I guess that little trip worked. Oh my gosh, intuition, it's the mouthpiece of life itself. Roseanne, I love it when things happen on the day that you're going to speak and they're not in your notes, they're not anywhere. She brought up we are walking miracles. She brought up this whole idea of all the sperm and the eggs trying to come together, and the chances are like 1 out of a trillion that we're even here. So hallelujah. That's really something. I've used it before, but it's really interesting because we are walking miracles, and yet we doubt sometimes our power. Has anybody ever doubted their power? Don't lie to me, man, because I know. It's an interesting thing. We have a podcast that Rita and I are developing right now, and the current name is From Woo Woo to Wow. Wow. Because quite frankly, I've said it myself too. What is this, nonsense? About every time you try to explain something that might be unexplainable to the person you're talking to, you say, I know it sounds a little woo-woo. What the hell is woo-woo? Well, I had to find out. It says, relating to a force, phenomenon, process, etc., that has no clear scientific explanation and is regarded by some as mystical or spiritual, and by others as illusory or fraudulent. All that is, the last part, is just arguing for their limitations. Because here's the deal. I am not apologizing for woo-woo anymore. Because without this woo-woo, I will have no wow. Because I've tried it the other way, and it just doesn't work. Woo-woo. I've been doing it. It's a little woo-woo. Well, how do you know? Well, prove to me what you're doing is so fabulous. That's what I want to know. How's it working for you in the 3D world? How's that working? All just constantly digging up the 3D world of, look at this is happening, this happening. Listen, I'm the king of compassion, but I'm done with the woo-woo, apologizing for woo-woo, okay? So I'm living a life of wow. I'm living a life of wow. Woo-woo. Yeah. A couple of other things, and I'm also, the word, when I was gone, I asked for some guidance, and it said the word mediocre, And surviving versus thriving. All I know is that when I'm not in woo-woo, I'm surviving. When I'm in a world that knows the truth of who I am, and I believe that, and let me tell you, I know that it can seem difficult at times in our lives, and I'm not saying it's not, but I would suggest a little more woo-woo. When I'm in my sessions and I'm working, I'm entering the woo-woos into it, because I'm going to tell you, we were saying the other day about belief. Why doesn't this work? I'm a compassionate, loving person and don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and a people pleaser. I don't want to let you know that it doesn't work because you don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be a Donnie Downer today, but I'm just letting you know it's not a bad thing. It's a gift. When something's not working in my life, I ask myself, Patrick, I love you. What are you believing right now? What are you believing? I'm believing in that instead of this, and now I'm confused. I love this idea that, I say to somebody, well, what do you think? What do you feel? I don't know. You know what I don't know means? Procrastination. Because as long as I don't know, I don't have to act upon what I do know. And what I do know, and do I practice it 100%? No, but I want to practice it 110%. And is that because I want more? I'm going to talk about more today. About this idea of, can't we just be satisfied with what we have? Are you kidding me? I am the breath of God, the breath of life, the breath of... Why would I ever be satisfied and not want more? Or out of guilt? Oh my God, we live on this beautiful island. And people spend the first 2 years apologizing for it. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, how do you live? There ain't nothing with Rita and I, just an FYI, had anything to do with luck. We came here without a dime, and I would like to say that's exaggerating, but it is not. We came here knowing that something was calling us, and there was something that we had to do, and we listened, and I was scared a lot of the times. Do not get spirituality mixed up with not being afraid. Please. That's when you need your spirituality. Is when you're terrified, when you have a dis-ease that won't go away, when you have bills that cannot be paid, when you cannot find in your heart enough love, when you have an ex-husband that you cannot stand, an ex-wife that you cannot stand, and you have all of that stuff, all of that past, just nailing at us. I'm done. I should go away more often. I'm just letting you know. Wow. Wow. This is who we are. And I know that this might be some fabulous game we're all playing to pretend we're not as great as we are. But my sessions are no longer with anyone not reminding you every moment of my talk with you or in our session or out there having a snack that you are great. And it's about time you act like it. When I am scared and when I'm frightened and when I'm hurt, I am not going to beat myself up. Wow. Now, of course, you're going to interrupt the whole thing. Thank you very much. Quanta says, speak it, brother. Speak it, my father. Hallelujah. And I don't want to get, we're talking about revivals, and I can get a little evangelistic, I know. I've even heard it said. And I don't apologize. Because I'm living a wow life. And if that doesn't work for you, I love you. Just let it not work for you. I'm really okay. I never used to be, by the way. Because this is what I thought when I landed on this island. I thought if I was honest and authentic and vulnerable and real with you, that you could never say anything bad about me. It didn't work. Because we cannot please people all the time. This little Quanta, who came from the field, I believe, she came here to mix things up a little bit. She came here to say, what y'all so uptight about, man? Life is good. Life is good. So a couple other things before I leave you. I love Michael Beckwith, speaking of evangelistic. He says, every problem is afraid of my potential. Every problem is afraid of my potential. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you remember who you are, 100%. Oh, there'll be trouble knocking at the door at times, but you'll just open it. Because that intuitive power, you'll just open the door and say, what? I came here to terrify you. How's that working? No. Our intuitive power, we have, I was speaking to someone today that's younger than me, which is a lot of people. And I said, the one thing that I love about maturing, especially spiritually maturing, is my intuition becomes clearer and clearer. Not because anything is different in my life out there, but because I'm listening more. I'm listening where I did not listen before. I wanted a question asked the other day, and I said, why am I so afraid to switch my Dell to my Mac? If you were here before, you know I got a Mac. And Mac's been over there and Dell's here. And the reason I bring it up is because my intuitive part of me said, it's just a computer, my friend. I was making it like this incredible thing. So when we went away, I said, I'm going to leave Dell at home. I'm taking Mac with me to the cottages. So I gently walked in my office and I said, Dell, I got to leave you behind, man. I took this little lightweight Mac. About practice. And I said, I'm just going to keep practicing until I'm not afraid of Mac anymore. And we're doing pretty good. It's been a week now. The withdrawals are almost over. And I'm getting pretty good at that. But we have to practice. We cannot give up. We must, whatever's going on in your lives right now, and I know a lot of your lives, you are so full of love. It is time that we kick this not worthy, not all of this to the curb. Stand in our power. Be a light for those who cannot be there right now. Look at them in the eye and say, I don't pity you, I love you. Let me love you until you can love yourself. Let me love you until you can love yourself. Tune in for a minute. Put your hand on your heart for a minute. Go deep as you can possibly go in this moment. I love you. Life loves you. The universe is working overtime and all time on your behalf. There is something wonderful happening now, that this thing called life had an idea and attached your name to it. You are royalty. I am royalty. Let's take this love, feel it pulsating through every single cell, through every single part of your body. Every organ is now being expressed as good as God. Today is the day. This moment is the moment to declare absolute independence from the world out there and to claim complete acceptance and embodiment of the world within us. Love has spoken. And can we say together, yes?
Yes.
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 And so it is.
So it is.